how to make a book angel. I've got the words covered up for copyrights, but let me show you. First, select a book that you really want to do this with. It's not going to damage the book, but you do want to make sure that, it's a book that you are not going to desire later, especially if you are planning on gluing or painting on the pages. So the first thing you do is you take your page down and you're going to fold it a complete triangle and make sure that you get it as close as you can into the spinal area. Smooth that down. The next, you want to fold that over one more time into the book spine, all the way as close as you can. Smooth it down. Now once you've got this done, open it back up and take the tail, and you want to fold that corner in so that it is even with the first crease that you made. And you'll fold that in and smooth it. And then, of course, fold it back. And you'll continue to do that until you get it as thick or as broad as you want. And one thing that you can do is, of course, stand the book up and see how broad you've got your pages. Now at this point, what I will do, because I plan on using the rest of this book for other projects, I'm going to take my razor knife and I'm going to cut through here to separate the strand of the spine from the papers. I also have my glue gun ready, and then you can use paint and different things to color up your pages and make it what you want. I'm going to be using the eyeballs from Dollar Tree as the head for my angel. So now I've cut my folded pages free from the spine of the book, and as you can see, the webbed spining is still intact. So unless you just felt it necessary, you don't really have to put anything back here. But you can use tape, or you can use some kind of webbing, and as long as it keeps its form. I only desire the front of mine to be shown, so I'm going to leave mine just like that. Now to make my angel's wings, the best way that I know how is kind of govern a little bit as to how many rows you think that you can get out of your page. And then what I do is I kind of roll that up and see how wide I can get them equally. And then I take and I place a small indentation right about there in the middle. Let it roll out. And then I can Belician this so that they are even with each other. And so that way it will help me to decide. And then just back and forth fan fold. And then that way that will create my angel's wings. And if you need to, you can do more pages, or you can make them more narrow. Next, I want to take some glue and connect my papers together. You can use paper glue or anything that you like. I'm going to use my hot melt because it'll be faster. So to keep these connected, I'm going to just pinch them right there and put a small amount of glue to hold that pinch together so that my wings on my angel will spread out. Now I have added glue right there in that seam, and that will just help with my angel's wings. I'm going to do the same thing on the back side. That'll give it the spread that I'm desiring. That way when I attach it, it is set in place. Now I can focus on if I wish to paint it or decorate it before I glue my wings on. Now I have some metallic folk art paints here by Plaid. I have a bright red, an antique copper, and of course my sterling silver. So I'm going to take and paint on my paper here. And the really neat thing about these paper books is it doesn't take a lot to get the effect that you want, because you're only going to be covering the outside of it. So I'm going to see how I fare in just running it down the book. I only want that little bit of color going on the front. Now using the silver, and I also ended up using the copper, I did the bottom part and I did the wings, but I did silver on all of it, and you see me hold it closed. So now we can do some decorating of any sort, or you can leave her just like she is. Now adding the berry and the green garland, and those are just wired, so I twisted them together and glued them. And then this little garland I just glued on each side and a little spot here in the center. Did the few berries on the garland for her head, and I put a little bit of the braided yarn for her collar. And voila, here is our Christmas angel. And she's suitable basically for everyday decor, especially with the metallic trims. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can also make a Christmas tree as well as make more eccentric wings for your angel. This is a great way to repurpose books. If you enjoyed this video tutorial, give it a thumbs up. Join the team by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell. Until the next DIY, Merry Christmas from Elizabeth of the Dandysoap DIY channel.